What's up, guys? This is Ray, and welcome to Asian Filmist, and I have another review of an anime movie for you guys today, and that movie is the 2017 film Lu Over the Wall, directed by Yuasa Masaaki, the guy behind clever works such as The Night is Short, Walk on Girl, and Mind Game. And this is one of two films which Yuasa released last year, the other one being The Night is Short, Walk on Girl, and I thought both of them were fantastic, although I think if you were to ask me which of the two I liked better, it was definitely The Night is Short, Walk on Girl. But that doesn't mean that Lu Over the Wall isn't enjoyable nonetheless. And I think it's definitely a movie to check out. But long story short, the story of Lu Over the Wall, it's about this kid named Kai. He moves to this fishing village from Tokyo, and he lives with his dad and his grandpa. His grandpa makes parasols, and his dad's a regular salaryman. And Kai's kind of he's not satisfied with life. He's kind of lonely. He's pessimistic. He's antisocial, and the only thing that brings any kind of joy to him is making music. He likes making music and uploading his works online, maybe YouTube. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that's the only kind of joy he gets out of life. And he gets asked by two classmates if he wants to join their band because their band is still really small and they need a singer, or they just need members to make their music better. He reluctantly joins, or rather, he gets kind of pulled by the arm to join their band. So they go and practice on this island called Merfolk Island. Take a boat out of there to practice, and it is there that they meet this mermaid by the name of Lu, the Lu that's in the title. And the thing is, with in this fishing town, they believe in merfolk. It's a big part of their lore, their local legends. And the thing is that they don't really have a fond view of mermaids. They're scared of them. They rather see them dead. And then you get introduced to this kind of history that the locals tell. That every time there's a missing person, every time someone goes missing, it's somehow has to do with the merfolk. So yeah, there's not very good blood between the locals and the merfolk. And so Kai and Lu, they get caught in the middle of this kind of conflict that starts to happen. So as far as the positives of Lu Over the Wall, well, I think the concept is funny as hell. It's interesting. It's unique. It takes something that we've all seen in movies before. Whether it be Disney, like The Little Mermaid. And it kind of turns it on its head. They kind of the way they make mermaids in the story, it's kind of strange. Well, first of all, you take Lu. She her hair is kind of unique. It looks like it's just a mass of water with stuff floating inside it. And whenever she hears music, that's the one reason why that Lu gets attracted to Kai, is because she gets attracted to music. And whenever music starts playing and she wants to dance, her tail starts turning into feet. And then when the music stops, it slowly transforms back into a tail. And so whenever there's music playing, she'll always want to sing. And whenever Lu starts taking control of the music, everyone just starts dancing, and it's just funny as all hell. It's batshit insane, as something you would expect from a Yuasa film. And not only that, but they kind of paint the mermaid, or they kind of treat the mermaid to be similar to something like zombies or vampires. Not in the sense that they're monsters, where they kind of looked like that by the locals, but in the sense that they can turn any other being, any other creature into a mermaid too. And all they gotta do is just chomp down and give them a bite, and suddenly, boom, they become a mermaid. And there's the first scene where you kind of realize this certain aspect of merfolk in the story is when they visit this dog shelter and they see these dogs without a home. And so what they do, they kind of let the dogs escape, and they kind of Lu kind of floods the area so that way the dogs can swim away. And then before they have a chance to drown, she swims up to each and every one of the dogs and chomps on them, and suddenly, boom, we have merdogs. And another thing that's kind of unique and is used as kind of a plot device is that these merfolk are vulnerable to sunlight, so they can only swim in the shadows or at night, but just away from the sunlight. Another thing I enjoyed is the animation. And if you've seen The Night is Short, Walk on Girl, or Mind Game, you can kind of have a taste of the kind of animation Yuasa is famous for. And I think for the most part, this movie serves as kind of a more conventional anime, or an anime movie that's more conventional than its other movies. At least that's how it starts, and then you go into the scenes that are featured underwater or that features dancing and music, and then suddenly you get to see Yuasa animation come to life. Oh yeah, there it is. That's what I've been waiting for. And but the thing is, because it's used not sparingly per se, but it's not as prevalent as its other movies, I think this movie is a lot more accessible to the average anime fan. I mean, you have the cute, tiny female mermaid. You got the cute Murdog as kind of the mascot. So, but all in all, the characters, they're likable, they're entertaining, and the way they bounce back and forth between each other when they're talking, and the way they interact with each other, it was fun. They had a lot of chemistry, and you just couldn't help but just like these characters as they go along with the story. And speaking of music, the music that was featured in Lu Over the Wall, I thought was a lot of fun. It was enjoyable. You get a whole slew of different types of genres in here. You get kind of the beat maker music, the one like if you were to make a beat on GarageBand and upload them to YouTube or any other kind of beat maker app. They got that kind of music here. You got your rock band music happening, and you even got stuff that sounds like a weird Vocaloid track. Because whenever Lu sings or she's singing to the song, her singing voice sounds kind of like a Vocaloid. And as far as the negatives I have to say about Lu Over the Wall, there's not really many. I genuinely enjoy this movie, but if I had to pick one, I'd have to say that the person who eventually became the villain was just a pushover. I think there was no real there wasn't enough build up so that way you really care for him as a villain. It was just he was just more just there to serve as the final obstacle that the heroes have to overcome. But I think it's unfair to say that there was one actual villain in the story. I'd say rather that the thing that played the role of the antagonist in Lu Over the Wall was the fear of the townsfolk, the fear that the townsfolk had against mermaids, and that kind of took shape, or actually rather the one who became the main villain kind of took lead and represented that fear. But the way they just kind of brought him out of nowhere, if you just were to look at him solely as the antagonist, it falls kind of flat. But then if you kind of expand your view and see that he just kind of leads the town folks' fear of mermaids, and it becomes a little bit better. So overall, what did I think of Lu Over the Wall? I loved it. It was a lot of fun. And it's definitely a recommendation for me, for those of you who are looking for a unique film to watch, and just a unique anime movie too. And just like, I think the animation style, if you're expecting something wacky like Yuasa's other movies, you'll get a lot of it. But at the same time, as I mentioned earlier, it's accessible for your average fan, someone who hasn't even seen any of Yuasa's works. I think it's kind of a good middle ground to get introduced to his style. And it's definitely a mix of different works. Like the kind of vibes I got from Lu Over the Wall, I felt a little bit of Ponyo, and a little bit of Little Mermaid, a little bit of vampire and zombie flicks, as I mentioned earlier, and also the Vocaloid music I mentioned previously. And everything is cute, it's lovable, and it's adorable. And yeah, I'd watch it again and again, because I mean, the scenes with all the music and dancing, they're fun. They're a lot of fun. But yeah, those are my thoughts about Lu Over the Wall. What did you guys think, or what kind of questions did you guys have? Let me know in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And by all means, please support Asian Films on Patreon. Definitely helps the channel a lot. And hey, did you know I have a Discord server for those of you who want to chat about Asian movies with other fans? Just leave a comment down below, and I'll leave you a link to our server. And yeah, that's it for me. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you all again in the next video. Take it easy.